The FA Cup, probably the only trophy that Spurs could actually win this year. And to be honest, we actually have a fairly decent chance of doing it. We know our history of getting to the semi-finals. What was it like? Losing 8 semi-finals in a row, or getting to one of the finals and losing that as well. Whatever it is, we've got a history of losing these semi-finals the past 20 years or so. I think it's about time we actually made it to the final and won the bloody thing. Don't you? But our first hurdle on the way is Middlesbrough away. Unfortunately, I am not heading up to Middlesbrough. But instead, we're going to We Are Tottenham TV studio, and we're going to be doing a live reaction with a few other Spurs fans. So it still should be a lot of fun. You get to see behind the scenes. We're going to see our reactions and then our thoughts after the match. So first things first, let's get across the coffee. Okay, so got my latte, got my coffee ready to go. Now all we have to do is get to the studio, and the lineup has also been announced, and some fantastic news. Sonny has returned. Obviously he's been suspended for 3 games, and you know what, there was a little bit of fear in me that Mourinho wasn't going to take this seriously and was going to play maybe Parrott or God knows who up front, but Sonny is taking the place of Kane, who unfortunately is out for a long time, so he's not in the team. However, I think we're going for a back 3 or 5, however you want to think about it, because the way Spurs laid it out is Dyer, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, and then we've also got Aurier and Sessegnon either side of that. So it makes it sound like that's a 3 at the back with Dyer in there, which was amazing. That's when we were the best back in 16-17. However, Dyer has not been his best since his injury, so could be very hit and miss. We'll find out later today. But it looks like Sessegnon playing left wing back again, which is great. He did that for Fulham, was very good at that position. Still think he's better attacking than defending, but again, we'll find out in the game. And he seems to have gone for a midfield of Winks and Eriksen, which is pretty weak. But Eriksen's been playing pretty well recently, and we haven't seen Winks for a while, so it'd be good to see him again with Dele and Lucas behind Son. So all in all, it's a very strong team, given the fact that, you know, we're known for not really taking it seriously under Pochettino. So I'm happy that it's going all guns blazing, because it is a competition we can win. That's the team news done. Let's get to the studio. Right, so we have made it. We're parked up, and I forgot to mention that obviously they're doing a massive mental health campaign for the FA Cup, which I think is brilliant. So I thought I'll take this time to, you know, just let you guys know that I think it's such an important thing if we start talking to each other's friends, families, anything about how we're feeling, whether it be good or bad, because trust me, I've been there not too long ago. It feels horrible, and talking to my closest mates was a massive thing that helped me out loads. So guys, if you're feeling any kind of way, bad or good, please make sure to talk to people, and yeah, just don't be afraid. It'll help you out massively. But anyway, time to get to the studio. All right, so we made it to the studio. Over there.
Come on, you Spurs, are we going to win today?
No, that's a good question. Let's find out. I'm a bit worried, but you know, we'll see. Ashley on Twitter there as well.
Wait, I need to Sam. Off camera.
This is the studio. This is where we're going to be watching the game. So we've got about 10 minutes until kick-off, and yeah, you get to see the live reaction on We Are Tottenham TV's channel, so make sure to go over there if you want to see our reaction of the game. But yeah, we'll come back to you after with some analysis, I guess. So we just finished our live reaction in the studio, and as you would have seen, we drew 1-1 away. Very deflating performance by Spurs yet again, which is obviously really bad to see. It's just so frustrating, man. I'm going to get the guys' opinions as well. I'm going back in the studio. We're just grabbing some food now, so we'll get their thoughts. But what's going on, man? We haven't kept a clean sheet away from home since Dembele left a year ago. A whole year, man. The good players today for me, Aurier had a good game, to be fair to him. Great assist for Lucas. Lucas, once he scored, started playing a bit better, which is good to see. Eriksen did all right. He had a pretty good game. But unfortunately, Vertonghen, again, another stinker performance. Dele Alli and Son were kind of nowhere to be seen in this game, which is, it's just infuriating, man. These guys are good players, and it's just so annoying. But hey ho, I'm about to grab some Subway, and we'll get more into this after. So come on, Spurs. Okay, so I've got the food now. If I was to analyse the game tactically now, it's annoying, right? The way we set up, it was obviously 5 at the back with Sessegnon and Aurier playing wing backs. I think for us, 5 at the back definitely benefits our fullback situation right now, because we don't have good, like, solid left back / right backs available to us. Our best ones are Davis, who's obviously been out for a while. He's injured. Aurier is so much better attacking than he is defending. And the fact that Sessegnon is a left winger, converted left wing back for part of his time at Liverpool, at Fulham, sorry. It's having wing backs benefits him and Aurier because that allows them to be attacking. But unfortunately, our centre backs just aren't good enough. We had Dyer, Toby and Vertonghen had another stinker of a game, which is sad to see, man. I love the guy, but put another pretty poor performance in. And I think Toby did okay. Toby did well. Dyer did all right. not amazing, clearly still not back to his best yet. We're not going to fix these defensive issues, and we're still going to concede unless we fix our centre-back issue. And what are our defensive issue? Because we need to get proper full-backs so that we can have a flat-back four. And then we need a proper centre-back to stop these balls going over our defence and then just players running rings around us and just scoring. Like we're conceding first every single game against these, let's be honest, rubbish teams. But I also think part of that is to do with the fact that centre mid we had to go with Ericsson and Winks today. Winks looked extremely frustrated when he came off because, I mean, he got a bit injured but also didn't play amazing. I mean, nothing really to show, so we need a DM to work with on Ndombele when he's fit, and that will be a class pairing. But I don't know, Sonny they defended so well, man. They stopped him from getting any sort of a chance. They knew we were without Kane, and they just simply crowded him with about 4 players, and it worked perfectly well. So fair credit to Woodgate and Keane. They set up very well there. It's time to have a little munch, get into the studio and see what the guys think. Right, so obviously been joined by Sam Lavender, and we are Tottenham TV boys. Everyone here, we just watched the Spurs Middlesbrough game, which I think we can all say weren't exactly the most entertaining or...
I mean, we controlled the possession of the game, we just couldn't get a chance.
Towards the end of it, yeah. Well, at least...
I think for the majority of the game, I think we controlled the possession. I think maybe first 20 minutes, Middlesbrough looked good, but once we got into the game, I thought we controlled the possession, but we couldn't get a shot off on goal or create any kind of clear-cut chance. It was really frustrating.
So again, giving the opposition a 1-0 head start away from home, it just keeps on happening. It's so frustrating. We're always chasing the game constantly. Every time we're away from home, we're just chasing the game. So frustrating. And we played our strongest team today. No excuses. No one rested.
Squad's not good enough.
There was no focal point.
A lot of people saying that. Well,
no focal point up
so
front.
So what do you think went wrong today? Is the fact that we didn't have Kane in the team? Was that like, could you say that's the main thing?
I think if Kane was on the team today, I think we would have won the game. I think it would have created that kind of focal point up front. Sonny was having 4 men on him every time he got the ball today. He was completely getting crowded out. Lucas Moura was poor today, but I thought that once he got his goal, he was really good from then on until the end of the game. He found some confidence, but the main thing is I think we didn't have a focal point up there, so we couldn't create too much.
Well, they clogged up the central areas. They were restricting our creativity, so we were forced to go out wide, and then we go out wide and there's no one in the box to cross it to.
Yeah,
there's no one in the box.
I noticed towards the end of the game that Sonny had to basically drop a bit deeper to try and collect the ball from the attacking because he was getting so crowded. And by that point, there was literally no striker. There was no one on the last defender. It was all like kind of 6 midfielders just spread along.
We were forced into long shots or trying to get a good delivery out wide. And even if there was a good delivery out wide, there was no one in the box to kind of take advantage of it. And the only time we did it, we scored from the cross from Lucas Moura. Great ball by Aurier. Only time in the whole game.
A lot of these players have finished.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and Vertonghen's down.
Vertonghen is so it's annoying that he had another poor game today, which I hate to see, man. I love the guy. Dyer's not good enough.
Dyer's rubbish.
What do you think about Toby? Because obviously he signed.
Not good enough.
Toby signed a new contract. Most Spurs fans were obviously happy. I think quite happy with that. Yeah. But again, for me, I think he's just been a bit lacklustre this year as well. I think both him and Jan have been a bit.
I think his performances have been a bit worse since he has signed that contract. I don't know. We're just crying out for some big beast of a defender. We've had the same defence for the last 5 years, and we just need a change. I think players have got older.
The defence aren't being held by the midfield, though. I think the midfield is leaving them
exposed.
We
badly need a defensive midfielder.
I think they're being left badly exposed by what used to be. We used to have really solid protection and physicality in the middle, which don't have it anymore. And in possession, they're okay, like knitting things together. But out of possession, they don't provide that screen that we used to have, like with Dembele and Wanyama. It's just not there.
Okay, so where do we go from here then? Because obviously it's January transfer window. We have Liverpool at home next week, which we just also saw their youth team batter Everton. Pretty much, like
literally unbelievable. That shows the kind of club.
12s.
Yeah, and obviously we now have to play Middlesbrough again, but at home. So what do we change? What do we have to do?
Everyone knows what we need to do, but everyone knows what's going to happen. Everyone knows that we need heavy investment in the squad. We need a goalkeeper. We need a centre back. We need probably 2 centre mids, a right back, a left back, potentially a striker as well. It's like we're not going to sign all these players, are we? But that's what
Especially
we
in
need.
January. Well,
That's
we
what
would
we
hardly
need.
do that in the summer. let
Well,
alone in
Mourinho
January.
was, I think, sending some very strong hints to Daniel Levy about the striker situation.
Every
Because he was
manager
saying,
always sends hints to Daniel Levy.
he was
nothing
saying
has done.
Lucas and Son, I can't turn them into number 9s overnight. He's like, oh, we played the whole game with no striker. He kept saying that, no striker. We had no striker today. So clearly he doesn't see Son as a backup striker. He just sees Son as a
There was a
makeshift
striker on the bench.
He doesn't want to throw Parrott into the deep end like that, and I can understand.
As a 17-year-old, it's tough to kind of put the pressure on him
Of course.
straight away. Like
What? But I don't understand. Klopp does it.
What do you mean Klopp does it?
Klopp just played 7.
It's different when everything's going so right at your club, you know what I mean? It's different when there's positive attitude everywhere.
Or
and
Greenwood
they can afford to slip up in the
Other
FA
clubs
Cup,
do
given
it.
the fact
Other
they're-
clubs
they're
do it. There are
basically won the league.
17-year-olds starting for other clubs.
Greenwood starts for United.
Greenwood starts. That's Sacco at Arsenal.
But maybe
starts.
Greenwood's more ready.
Greenwood is more ready. Greenwood's been scoring goals in the Premier League. You can't
Well,
just
Troy
throw-
Parrott might if you give him a
Maybe.
few games.
Maybe.
He started him against Colchester and he wasn't great, was he?
Maybe
Does seem
not.
to have a lot of potential though.
Clearly the
See,
guy's
what
got
happened,
quality,
what happened
but
at
he's
Norwich
just so
yesterday?
young.
They played their 18-year-old striker. He scored a hat-trick.
True.
Yeah, maybe
it's
he
fair
does
point.
need more minutes. Maybe to come on late in games or something like that.
Well, but
just
we
to
don't
give him
we
a bit
don't
of
see
taste
him
of
in,
it.
we don't see him in training, do we? So maybe
No,
he's
And
just
what's the
not.
point of putting him on
up
the bench
to
if he's not going to play? Stick him with the kids where he can score goals.
Well,
He
it'd
is
be interesting
very
to
young,
put
though.
to
He's
the
very young.
to the audience. Leave comments down below if you think Parrott should get some game time. I think he deserves at least some minutes somewhere.
I guess
But
we're 1-0 when
where
you're
do you
chasing a
risk
goal.
it? The league, we
Few
need to catch
minutes.
up back to top 4.
What-
FA Cup,
1-1
we need to
at a
win.
relegation
It's a really successful year.
Candidate side in Middlesbrough, away from home. It's 1-0. Your first team's on the pitch. You've got a striker on the bench. Why not?
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think
fair
every
point.
other club in the league would have put that.
Yeah, it is a fair point.
Fair point.
All right, so plenty of signings that we need to do.
Yeah, wow.
Got
We know what's going to happen. We
It's
know.
gonna get.
We
We're
know
gonna
what's
get.
happen.
Like,
Not me
there's
anyone.
got to be a striker out there that we can either get on loan or buy that is good enough to be
We literally had
A
that
backup to
striker
Kane
in our
and then-
squad last season, and we
Yeah.
sold him.
for some reason.
Or we
Free,
didn't.
let him
we
go
didn't.
for what?
We didn't renew his contract.
Didn't we
just-
actually have the option to as well? Like, it was part of it to be.
We offered
to
him
give
a
an
pay
extra-
decrease
Yeah, we offered
in his
him.
contract.
Why? He basically got us to the Champions League final, or
Yeah.
at least the semi-final.
Yeah.
And then, either way, plenty of problems, as we've seen past few games, and safe to say it's not looking too great, especially when we've got the league leaders / winners.
Yeah,
Premier League.
And then
champions
after
elect.
that, we got
Champions
Watford
elect,
away,
Champions
and
League
they've
holders.
turned around their form and
Oh,
Nigel
they've
Pearson.
been-
You know what I
they've
mean?
been
I can't
quality,
see us
haven't
winning
they?
there either.
It's going to be a very, very tough January, I think, to say the least.
When
Way
you,
things are
so
going.
these just these performances away from home have
No clean sheet away since
since
Dembele was sold
still
last
still
year.
over a year. We even go to a championship side, we can't keep a clean sheet. We can't even get a win. We can't be we're just so inconsistent. Now, but away from home, it's not even inconsistent. It's just poor, pretty much. Even the games we've won, Wolves away, didn't deserve to win that game.
The problem is
We won
there's no
away from
light
home.
at the end of the tunnel. That's the problem.
Well,
Because
that's a bit.
where? How can you see it? Because we're not going to invest like we need to invest. So what's going to happen?
I think we just have to wait and see in the summer. See if Mourinho gets his first full proper year. See if we actually
Should've
does
just
have
given it to
that.
Poch.
We got him for the blockbuster factor, realistically, to hopefully attract people to the club, players to the club. And if that doesn't happen, and we don't invest, then
There were some questionable signings on the Poch anyway.
Loads.
Loads of questionable
Loads.
signings.
so I think we just need to give it. It's a tough one. I think this year's pretty much a write-off. This season's a write-off.
Well, hang on. We might beat
Not-
Middlesbrough at home.
Yeah, sure, it could be Middlesbrough.
Look,
Well, what
I
would you
don't
t-
think
what-
it's a write-off just yet. I
But-
think we can
but-
still finish
but
top
for-
four.
You said there was no light at the end of the
Champions
tunnel.
League run.
Literally a minute ago. No light at the end of the tunnel.
There isn't, but we
What-
can still claw back and do something.
What do you
this
think is
season.
more important for us?
That's
then?
lying.
Winning
No,
the
in
FA
terms
Cup.
of title challenges and where we were a few years ago, I can't see us ever getting back to that in the near future.
So we just need to basically turn into Arsenal 10 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we are.
Aim for top 4.
In other
hopefully
news,
win the FA Cup.
they just showed the last time West Ham won a trophy, it was black and white.
Damn right.
Right. Anyway, thank you guys for having me on and for your thoughts and stuff. So
Well, thank you for having us on.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
cheers,
Thank
no,
you
cheers
very
coming
much.
on.
Thank yous all round.
thank yous all round. Not
Hopefully,
Spurs, but
let's hope for a better performance next time because it's getting really, really frustrating.
hopefully we pull something magical out of the bag against Liverpool.
Is that
They
five
might be
games
dreaming
out
a bit
win
too
now?
much. But
5 games out win? Or 4?
Let's not
What was
count.
it?
Let's just.
Brighton
No,
than the
3.
last one.
3, yeah. Since Chelsea, we haven't won.
Brighton.
We were Brighton at home.
Was that after
Boxing
Chelsea?
Day, yeah. It was after.
Okay.
1 in 5, I think.
1 in
or
5.
something like
1
that.
in 5.
Positivity.
Positivity. Right. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you
Come
guys
on,
next
Gillingham.
time.
Come on.
Come on, Gillingham.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be